Here's Paul from rmpforex.com and welcome to the weekly review of 5 major forex pairs. As every weekend, I will take a look at EURUSD, British pound, Australian dollar, Canadian dollar, and Japanese yen against US dollar. For those of you who is watching for the first time, I will explain you very quickly what I'm doing here. Each weekend, I share with you my strategic direction based on each in D1 timeframes based on Masterforex-V Technical analysis. Once I have the strategic direction, then I go to tactical plan. Usually it's each morning I trade intraday, and I create 1 or 2 or 3 tactical plans for the upcoming session. And I get from those tactical plans, I get entry zones. So once I have those entry zones, I go and start use my trading system, which is usually trend following trading system. So that's the quick review, and I am sharing with you my strategic direction, which is about 33% of my trading plan for the upcoming week for those pairs. So let's get straight into it. The first pair is EURUSD as usual. First of all, it's important to remember that this pair is in a D1 flat face, and as long as these 2 reference points are not broken, this pair will stay in a flat face. If you need to understand, if you want to understand better, and if you need to have more information on what these reference points mean, just go to my last weekend's review. I explained there what are those reference points and what will happen if we'll break through any of those. So I use H4 for my strategic direction. To choose my strategic direction, here we have on H4 the pivot point that I mentioned last week, my last review, moved into this place once we broke through this reference point, and then as you can see, we came back and broke through this reference point. So this pair came back to H4 flat face. So as I said, pivot points are very important for me, and these are my reference points that I decided my strategic direction based on. So once we broke through this reference point, this pair came back to H4 flat face. And now, if we will break through this reference point, we'll have a ZR of H4, and then the trade phase will start from that point for me, and then I can go and, as I said in the very start of the video, try to find some tactical plans and some entry zones and use my trend follow trading system. Or if we will go up and break through this reference point, same thing will happen, same logic. We will have this kind of FZR, and that will be H4 FZR, and then I can start using my trend follow trading system once we break through this reference point. As long as we're between those reference points, this pair will stay in the H4 flat face, and I will have to stay away from this pair, and I will have to just watch and do nothing with this pair. So I'll just go quickly to D1 time frame. Here you can see that's the H4 flat, and here we have D1 flat. So kind of flat inside a flat. So all I can do is just stay away from this pair and watch and see what will happen. Right, that's the area for EURUSD. Next pair is British pound against US dollar. British pound. If you'll remember my last review that was recorded here, I mentioned this reference point, and I said that if we will break through this reference point, we will have an FZR of H4, and this pair will move into trend phase of H4. Once we broke through this reference point, the pivot point was created as well that was protecting this trend, and this is the moment and this is the place where it is very important to understand yourself how these reference points are appearing, and to know yourself how to go step by step with the market. So if you want to get those reference points, if you want to learn those reference points, if you want to learn what is FZR, what is a pivot point, and so on, opt into RMP Forex training and leave your contact there, and you will get all the information on how to go through this training. It's a 3 months comprehensive, very intensive training where I am personally myself will walk through each of elements of Masterforex-V Technical analysis with you, and you can ask me any questions, and I will make sure that you understand this technical analysis. So coming back to British pound, once we broke through this reference point, the pair came back into H4 flat face, and this reference point moved into here. As you can see, that point is broken as well. So at the moment, this pair is in a trend phase down. This is the FZR that created this trend phase down of H4. And on Monday, once the trading will open up, I will be looking for some new sell positions for this pair, unless we will create a new reference point something like here. And if we will do, I will definitely let you know in the comment section below. So if you're not subscribed to this channel, make sure you subscribe and follow this channel, and I will let you know if any new reference points will be created. So that's the idea with British pound. We'll see what will happen. We'll see if this trend will continue on Monday. And let's go to the next pair, which is Australian dollar against US dollar. First of all, it's important to remember that this pair is in a weekly flat phase. If you need some more information about it, just go to my last review. I mentioned about those reference points and where they are coming from and what will happen if we will break through any of those. I need H4 and D1 to understand, to choose my strategic direction. If you remember again my last review, I mentioned this pivot here. I'll just go to H1 to show you. I said that once we'll break through this reference point, I will leave this pair alone and we'll stop doing anything until we will renew the low. So as you can see, we broke through this reference point. I just left this pair alone and didn't do anything with it. I also mentioned that in the comment section below of last video. And then what happened? A new USDR was created up of smaller time frames, and we break through this reference point. This reference point says that this whole impulse down is now finished. It's history. And now I have two new reference points for the one time frame. Once we will break through this reference point, I will have an FZR of D1 down. That will move this pair into a trend phase of D1. Or if we will go up and break through this reference point, we will have there a weekly FZR up. That's for long-term trend up. So as you can see, that range is a bit too big, too many pips here. So I go to smaller time frame. But just to finish up here, this pair, this time frame is in a D1 flat phase as long as we are between those two reference points. So H4 time frame, this impulse here is also finished. Pivot point that was here is also broken. So this pivot and this impulse here is also history. And I have two reference points for H4 as well. So as long as these two reference points are not broken, this pair is in a flat phase of H4. Once we'll break through this reference point, we will have an FZR of H4, and then I can start using the trend following trading system on this side after this reference point is broken. Or if we'll go down and break through this reference point, then a whole D1 FZR will happen, and this pair will move into a bigger time frame. This pair will move into a trend phase of D1, and I can then start using my trend following trading system after that point. As long as we're between those two reference points, I will have to stay away from this pair and just see what will happen, because I use only trend following trading system. I trade only when the market is in a trend phase. So we'll see what will happen. We'll see the next week. It's actually not so bad because the Christmas is coming, and I will have some more time for family and gifts and Christmas and all that preparation. So next pair is Canadian dollar against US dollar. Canadian dollar, again, if you will just go through a couple of my last reviews, you will remember that we have these two reference points, and as long as they are not broken, we are in a weekly flat phase. It's a dangerous place here. Once we break through this reference point, then we'll move into a trend of weekly time frame up. So we're very close to this point. We will see what will happen. But again, weekly time frame is a bit too high for me. If you need some more information, just look through a couple of my last reviews, 1 or 2 or 3 weeks in the past, and you will understand I was going here step by step with each movement of the price. So I need a H4 time frame, and here you also will remember from my last review, we have these two reference points that are still not broken. If we will break through this reference point, we will have an FZR of H4 down, and then I can start use my trend following trading system here. Or if we will break through now this reference point, not this one, but this one, yeah, then we will have an FZR of H4 up, and then I can start using my trend following trading system after this reference point. We'll see what will happen. We are very dangerously here in this place. If we'll break through, then I will start using my trend following trading system. But as long as we are between those two reference points, this pair will continue with a flat face, and I will have to stay away from this pair. We'll see what will happen. If anything will change, if any new reference points will appear, I will definitely let you know in the comment section below. So just follow this channel. Leave your questions, leave your comments if you like to. I will be more than glad to hear from you. So next pair is a Japanese yen against US dollar. Japanese yen. If you will remember in my last review, I mentioned this FZR and I said that this trend up will continue as long as this pivot point is not broken. As you can see, the pivot point is broken, and now this pair came back into a flat face of H4 time frame. Once the pivot point was broken, I mentioned it in the comment section below. And again, I invite you to become a part of community of this channel. I hope YouTube will allow me to use the community feature, which is available only for bigger channels. But we'll see. Maybe I will get that as well and send you some print screens of what I'm doing and how reference points are changing. So make sure you subscribe to this channel, and I invite you to become a part of a community of this channel. So Japanese yen, once we broke through this reference point, the pair came back to H4 flat face, and now I have to stay away from this pair again. Once we break through this reference point, then an FZR of daily will happen, and then we can start using the trend follow trending system. Or if we'll go just like that and break through this reference point, then we will have an FZR of D1 pattern as well, and I can start using my trend follow trending system. Unless some new reference point will be created, and again, I will let you know in the comment section below about it. Don't forget, guys, as well, that we are still in a D1 flat face. And here you can see, here is my H4 flat face. So again, flat inside the flat. And again, it's very good for me because Christmas is coming and I will have more time for my family and for preparing for the Christmas. So this is it, guys. I hope this video will give you some new ideas. If you have any questions or ideas, feel free to use the comment section below. If you're still not subscribed to this channel, here is the button for you. Click the subscribe, and I will talk to you the next weekend.